right, so I have made most of my growth in this year, in 2025. And in this video, I'm going to go through all the main lessons that I learned that have resulted in the growth that I've had throughout this year. And some of these lessons are going to be contradictory to what you might have experienced. So without wasting any more of your time, I'm just going to get right into the lessons. So the first one is no one cares, okay? No one's thinking about you. No one cares about what business decisions you make. No one cares about what life decisions you're making, what risks you're taking, which girl you're talking to. No one gives a shit. They have their own lives to think about. They have their own problems, and they're probably thinking about what other people are thinking about themselves, right? So no one gives a shit. That's the first one. This one was like really key for me because like I used to think, oh, like this guy's thinking about me. What would this guy think about me making this decision about my business, or what would that guy think? No one gives a shit. That's what I realized, and that was like a mind opener for me. It's like, no one gives a shit. Do what you want because everyone's gonna die. You're gonna die, and it's not gonna matter. So might as well just do it, despite them thinking, and they're not even thinking, right? Now, the second one. The second one is like kind of closer to me because like sometimes it's better to give things time, and they will just fix themselves with time, and you don't have to do anything because I am so like ADHD. Like I just want to do things. Like I just want to do things, and sometimes some of you might be able to relate with this, but it's like sometimes I just find myself fixing things that don't need to be fixed. It's like I just need to give them time and just wait for like things to do their thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like with employees, it just takes them some time to like get into grips with our process and like everything else like that. It's not that they're doing something wrong, it's just that it takes time, right? And with business as well, it's sometimes that you face problems that are like you face them, but it's better to not do anything because they just might fix themselves. You know what I mean? It's like, and I don't mean like you have to sit on your ass and just be like, oh fuck, you might just fix itself, right? That's not how it works, and that's not what I'm saying, right? I'm saying that some things, some people, and problems in your business will fix themselves just by themselves. So how I implement this in my life and business specifically is I just give things time. I just give things time. I give it time, and if it doesn't fix itself after some time, then I do things. But I don't just I don't just react to things like a reactive person. Like I don't get emotional anymore. It's like if something happens, I'm like, okay, cool, let's give it time. Might just be something small change in the environment. Might just be that. I give it time, and then sometimes it just fix itself. Prime example, our outbound systems. This beginning of December, metrics went down, results suffered. We weren't booking as many appointments as we're used to, right? And everyone was like, okay, fuck, what's happening, right? We need to change something, and we did. But turned out it was just the holiday season. People just weren't booking appointments at this time, and that was why we didn't get that many results. So like, that's what I'm trying to say. Give things time, and it might just fix itself without you wasting your energy and your time on it, right? Now, next one. Third one. Anxiety is just your psychology telling you that you have energy left in you that you could be putting into something that would get you closer just to somewhere you want to be, right? And this is like your psychology telling you that you can do more. And it's like, it's something I experienced a lot because like when I didn't have a goal, when I didn't have any purpose in my life, I used to be so anxious. I used to feel like very anxious and be like, what the fuck's going on? Why am I so anxious? And like once I had a goal, I was focused. Then I was like, I know what to do. And the anxiety just went away. So that's what I realized, is that actions towards my goals will remove the anxiety. Like it just goes off. It's like, if you're anxious right now, I want you to do 3 things. Define exactly what you want. Like it can be revenue, it can be anything, right? Define exactly what you want, why you want it, and then what steps you're gonna take in order to get it. And once you define these 3 things, all you need to focus on is the third part, the steps that you're gonna take, and then the anxiety will just go away. I can promise you that, okay? Fourth thing, focus is a force multiplier. So what that means is, if you focus on something, it's like, let's say you have 10 units of energy and you put 3 units in the business, 3 units in getting in a relationship, 4 units in the gym. Your energy is expanding like this, right? If you were a ball and you had three spades going out, right? But if you had 10 energy and you put 8 of them in the business and 2 of them in the gym, then you're expanding like in one direction and you're going like this. Do you know what I mean? It's like if you focus on something, you get closer to where you want to go faster. And if you're competing with people, obviously it comes without saying that if you're competing with someone who's focusing on that thing more than you, they will beat you all day, every day, twice on Sundays, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. Focus is a force multiplier. So everywhere like I look in my life, it's just like everywhere I look in my life, I just try to focus on the thing that I'm doing, because like your mind doesn't know if it's the gym, if it's the work, if it's your relationship. It can't tell the difference, right? So if you're focusing on the business, like if you're doing one thing and you're focusing and you're ignoring the distractions in the business, then you will do the same in the gym, you will do the same in the relationships that you have or anything else, right? Because your mind is applying the same fundamentals, the same principles, or the same formula to everything that you do. So it's going to ignore the distractions and focus on one thing in all the domains of your life. So, and if you're the opposite, if you're like always distracted and you can't focus, then that would be like your life, right? You won't be able to focus on business because you'd be distracted. You'd start 2-3 businesses at the same time and all of that kind of bad stuff, right? That we don't want. So focus is a force multiplier. And a mentor of mine told me that if you focus on one product and one client avatar, and you do that in one outreach method, you can get to $1 million a month. So like one thing is enough for like to get you to $1 million a year, right? Now, 5th one, the environment that I'm in affects me way more than I thought it did. And it's not like everyone knows that like bad friends are not good for you because like that's bad environment. But what I have noticed throughout the last year is like the friends that are like not bad, like let's say you are here and the bad friends are here. The friends that are here just like below you and who are like who are mediocre, who don't try that hard, and who want to grow but they're like just lazy, but they talk to you because they have big goals, but they're like lazy as fuck, right? Those friends affect me way more than the ones who are way below, and bad friends, because these friends who are here are like you don't classify them as bad friends, so you don't ignore them, right? So you keep them in your life and they still sabotage you because you unconsciously start comparing yourself to them because like you are being with them and they're in your immediate environment, which is not a good thing, right? So yeah, that's that. 6th one, investing in your business is the best growth and learning opportunity that you will ever have. It's not a cost. Like I used to think that investing in my business, I need to pay this much for my business without making any money. But then I reframed it to like, it's the biggest learning opportunity that I have, because if I spend this money and I learn something, I have grown and I have that for the rest of my life. And I was going to spend that money regardless, right? Might as well just spend it on this business, right? Because when I die, I will have no money. So I am going to spend it on something. So I might as well just spend it on the business. You know what I mean? Spend it on the business and learn something, correct? 7th one, you need a partner that supports your goals more than you. And I learned this the hard way, right? Because there are going to be some people who won't give a shit about your goals, right? They just give a shit about themselves and how they can. I'm not saying that there are all partners are that way. I'm just saying that like there are some people who care about themselves more than your goals, and that's not the best thing, right? Because if you have someone who's actively trying to pull you down and actively trying to reduce your workload and telling you, oh, why are you working so much? Why the fuck do you need to like be always working? Can you not give me some more time? And if someone's actively trying to like pull you down, then that just means that you won't live up to where you can be. Do you know what I mean? It's like because they are pulling you down. And if you're competing, which you obviously are, if you're competing in the business world or wherever you compete, right? If you're like a human, if you're a man, you're competing. That's what we do, right? You're competing for the business goals, you're competing for the money you want, you're competing for the goal that you want, anything, right? So if you're competing and you have someone actively destroying you, and you're competing with someone and you have a partner that actively doesn't support you, and you're competing with someone who has a partner that supports them every single time, then that person is going to beat you every single time, every single day, twice on Sundays. Okay? So I'm not saying that like if you have a partner that doesn't support you, kick them out of your life. I'm just saying that that's just what I have learned throughout this year, and I'm going to take this with me moving forward, right? 7th thing, Sorry, this was the seventh one. Eighth thing. Consistency is hard to do, but when consistency starts to give you the results, then you start to go exponential. And here's the thing with consistency, man. Consistency is how you win big and how you beat a lot of people. Because consistency in the beginning, it looks like a lot of work. Every single day you're going to work, you're working very hard, but you're getting nothing for it. That's how consistency is. You get nothing in the beginning. You just gotta keep working, and keep believing that one day will be your day, and when you win, then this work will pay off. But until then, you just gotta keep being consistent. And consistency is not something that you can be like, okay, wow, this is consistency. No, you have to experience consistency, you have to be there every fucking day. I'm not saying like, oh, every weekday I work. No, every fucking day. It has to consume you. It has to be the first thing you think about when you wake up. It has to be the last thought you have when you go to bed. It has to be the thing that comes in your dreams. And that is how you become obsessed. That is how you become obsessed, and that is how you win big. And this, in the short term, just looks like a lot of fucking work, and in the long term, you win big, and then people call you lucky. That's how it works. Anyways, ninth one, haters will always be there. In whatever you do, haters will always be there, right? You don't beat them by arguing with them or telling them how you are right. You beat them by winning so big that they become irrelevant, right? Because like all you can do is think about your goal and winning. And when you win, that's when whatever they said becomes irrelevant. And then they start calling you lucky, they start calling you names, they start giving reason as to why they couldn't achieve what you achieved because you had an advantage that they did not have. And when you get to that point, you could just look at them and smile and be like, yeah, man, you're right. And keep winning again, right? 10th thing. And this is like a big thing for me because like it's a big ego hit for me that I had. It's that you know nothing. And this is always like when you compare it to people you want to be like, right? I can't speak for you, but I can speak for myself. Is I know nothing. The more I learn, the more I realize that how little I fucking know. It's like when I used to be like 2-3 years ago, I used to be like, oh wow, I read this book, I know so much about business, I will be a fucking millionaire. And now that I realized that what millionaires do every single day, how they got there, how much knowledge it takes to become someone like that, now I'm like, yeah, Sam, let's think about it a bit. Let's think about this a bit rationally. I know nothing. I need to be working every single day, every single hour of every single day, and I need to learn as much as I fucking can, because if I don't, someone's gonna come from behind and take whatever I have and beat me, because that's how it fucking works. And I know nothing. That's like a big key lesson I learned this year, which I'm gonna take with me moving forward. Next one. Power follows the blame finger. So what this means is like if you are someone who's like, oh, I'm not where I want to be because of this person or because of that person, whoever you are pointing towards is the person who has power over you and your decisions and your life. Okay? For me, I like to keep all of my power to myself and be in control of where I end up in life. So whenever I go through something shitty, I'm just like, what can I learn from this? What could I have done better that I can take with me, so that way I don't end up in this position the next time? And a lot of people have that victim mentality. Nothing wrong with those people, right? I'm not like hating on them, nothing like that. This is just my opinion, right? All I'm saying is that like you can either, I mean, like bad stuff happens. It's gonna happen, right? It happens to everyone, and more to some people comparatively, right? But you can't just be like, oh, this bad thing happened to me and now I'm just a victim of it. Because it's, at the end of the day, it's just your decision, right? How you react to the things that happen to you, right? You cannot control the universe. You cannot control some situations, right? That's just how it is, right? You have to deal with the cards that you're dealt with, and the victim frame just doesn't help you, right? If you're in a position where you have dealt the worst cards, that you feel like other people have an advantage over you, I hear you. I genuinely do. But like, that doesn't help you, man. Like, if I was to actually like help you and tell you what to do, or like help you so that way you can grow from this, it's like being in the victim frame doesn't help you, man. At the end of the day, you just gotta be like, what can I learn from this, and how can I not let this happen to me again, and how can I be in control now? Because all we have is the actions that we can take, and the actions we take are determined by what we think we are in control of. Okay, cool. Next one, resting for a couple days is better than burning out so bad that you can't even look at the computer. And this happens to me a lot. I just work a lot and then I burn out, and then I can't work, and then I get that fucking motivation spike, and then I work a lot again, and then I burn out again. That's like, I used to be in that cycle a lot. And when that happens, it's just like everything goes out the windows. Like, you get in a rut and you're unable to manage your team, get results to clients, and your team's morale goes down because you're just not there for them. Everything sucks. So instead of doing that, just rest a couple days. Just take 2 days off and have that energy again, and then go again. Just don't burn out, okay? Rest when you need to. Cool. Next one. No one will ever understand you, ever empathize with you completely 100%. Okay? Like, no one will ever. Some people will try, but no one will ever be able to understand you 100%. That's just how it is. Because understanding someone requires you to run, like, to get their situation and their actions through your belief systems, okay? And no two people have the exact same belief system. So if this person is running this person's condition through their belief system, and he's trying to understand him, but they have different belief systems, because every human has a different belief system than you, then it's like physically impossible to completely 100% understand someone. And that's how it is. So like, for me, I used to expect some people to understand me 100%, and that's just not how it works, right? So I just realized that, and I was like, cool, it is what it is, right? So yeah, this is another key lesson that I learned. Next one, being solitary is a good thing. Now let me explain. When you're working towards a goal that's bigger than where you are right now, or like a higher goal that you want to achieve, by definition, you have to grow to get to a different point where you're not, or where you haven't been before, right? Obviously. So you can't expect people who are around you to grow with you, because like, obviously it's not their goal, so they just don't give a shit, right? Which is completely fair. They should not, right? Why would they, right? So it's like, when you're here and people around you are here and you want to get here, and you're in this process, in this middle, and you're like, you don't relate to anyone, and you're like, everyone's different, no one gives a shit, and that's fair. And that's like, if you're going through that right now, for someone who's going through that right now, a hopeful message for them is like, everyone who's done something with their lives, or who has achieved something bigger than themselves, has went through the exact same chapter that you're going through right now. You're in this place where you have all these friends that you don't want to be like, but you want to go to somewhere, but the friends that you want to be with won't be friends with you because you aren't on that level yet, and you're in this middle period of this transition, of this journey, and you don't relate to anyone. And I get it. It's like, it's gonna require you to go through this journey alone, because like, the air is thinner on the top. Not many people get to the top, right? So you just gotta get there alone. And it's like easier now with all of these community platforms like Skool and all of that. You can just find people who are like you and just talk to them digitally, right? But in your physical environment, you won't be able to find. It would be harder for you to find people who relate to your goals, or like have similar goals than you, because, right? It's just like it's just you fighting the universe for something that doesn't exist in the universe, and the universe is going to win every single time. Which brings me to my next point. Which brings me to the next one, is that the universe doesn't give a shit. It just doesn't, right? The universe, in my opinion, this is my opinion, take it with a pinch of salt, okay? In my opinion, the universe exists. The universe exists. There is someone above looking at us, hopefully. But the thing is that the universe doesn't give a shit. it doesn't give a fuck about like how hard you worked, what you tried, what you did, nothing. And it doesn't give a shit about what you want in life, what your goals are, what your aspirations are. It just doesn't give a fuck. All I know about the universe is that it doesn't like to be changed. So if you want something very big for your life that you just don't have, like you want to get filthy rich but you're not that rich yet, or you want to get to this place where you've never been, then the universe is going to test you, right? It's going to be hard for you. The universe is going to put things in place, and like it's going to be hard. So yeah, the universe doesn't give a shit. It doesn't care about how hard you try, how much you work today. All that matters is that you do the things that you need to do, and once you do it for a consistent amount of time, and you do the right things and you improve, then you win, right? And this is the key lesson that I learned this year, is that the universe doesn't like to be changed, and it is going to test you when you try to mold it, when you try to grow. It is going to test you, and it is going to see if you are worthy of getting what you want. Next one. Your belief in yourself and the story you tell yourself about yourself is the most important thing there is. You don't need to give a fuck about what anyone thinks about you. It's all dependent on what you think about who you are. Because that eventually becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and you become like, if you do it for long enough and consistently enough, you will become the person that you tell yourself you are. That's just how it works. You just gotta ignore other people and believe in yourself that you are gonna do what you say you are gonna do. And it also comes to the fact that you know in your head that you are not full of shit. So when you tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna do this, and at the end of the day you do that, and you've done that and more, then you can tell yourself that you're not full of shit. But if you're just telling everyone, oh, I'm gonna do this, oh, I'm gonna do that, and do nothing, then you subconsciously know that you're full of shit and you're lying to people. Next one. Fear exists in the mind, and if you actually play it out, like if you actually like think through what will happen if you actually do the thing that you're scared of doing, it's not that bad, right? It never is. Like your mind, it's just like such a thing that like creates scenarios in your head just to protect you from doing things that you've never done before, because it just doesn't want you to change, right? It doesn't like novelty, it doesn't like things that are uncertain, right? So if you actually play it out, okay, I make this cold call, this person's gonna curse me, okay, cool, now what? Okay, cool, and then I hang up the phone, and then I dial another lead. That person's gone, now I'm talking to the next person. You're still alive, right? And no one else knows that they cursed you. They don't even know your name if you didn't tell it to them, right? So it just exists in the way. Like you can apply it with every situation, everything. Like with talking to girls, you can I approach that girl and she rejects me in front of 5 people. Now what? You're still alive. Okay, those 5 people might make face noises for 10 minutes looking at me, for not even 10 minutes, for 1 minute looking at me, and then they might forget that experience after 2 hours. That's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna stop me from talking to them and not live my life the way I wanted to live? No, right? So when you play it out, it becomes so fucking clear as to what you're scared of, and then when you look at the thing that you're scared of, you're like, that? Fuck off, I'm not scared of that. I'm not letting that thing control my life. No way, fuck off. You know what I mean? Next one. If you're in business, your ego is already dead. And if it isn't, it should be. Let me explain. Because if you have a big ego and you're trying to run a business, you're fucked. Because your ego will make you make stupid decisions, neurotically or emotionally, that are going to bite you in your ass in the long term. And what I mean by that is like, you might talk to some people in a certain way that they don't like, and then that person is someone you need in the future, and then they're like, okay, fuck, you did this to me before, and they just don't comply with you anymore. Because just because you wanted to feel good, and just because you wanted to make your ego feel good before, you lost this opportunity. And with me, I just want to have every single opportunity going for me. So that's what I've learned. Because the second thing it does is it makes you underestimate your opponents. And that's a fucking dumb thing to do. Think about it, like underestimating your opponents, just being like, oh, that opponent, they're just not good enough, man. They're never going to beat us. Think about it. What good does that do to you? Like, what good do you get of that? I'll tell you what happens after that. If you underestimate them, you're gonna actively try, that's hard, to beat them. which means you're gonna try less hard, you're gonna try less stuff because you think that they are not good enough. And if they have something, if they have any card up their sleeve that you didn't know about, and if they pull that card out, and if they surprise you with something, you're fucked because you didn't expect that, and now you weren't prepared for it, and now they've beaten you. Let's take the opposite situation. You always thought that they have a card up their sleeve. You always thought that they're gonna do something unexpected and somehow they might beat you. Now what this does is it makes you try harder to beat them, which you don't necessarily need to beat them, but you need to grow, and you will grow faster because you think someone's trying to beat you. Do you know what I mean? Right? So this is another key lesson that I learned this year. 19th. Next one. 19th. Life is solving problems, and life is pain. That's what life is. Like, everyone's waking up solving problems, and then sleeping. That's what we're doing. So you can either solve average people problems, live average people life, and then continue with your life and run the same loop, solve the same problems every single year, or you can solve the problems that get you closer to your goals and actually get somewhere you want to go. Because like, life is painful. Even if like life is stressful, it's painful, you are gonna have problems that come up without notice, and life is pain. That's what life is, right? So you might as well experience the pain that gets you closer to your goals and closer to where you want to go, and actually get some meaning out of this thing. You know what I mean? Right? Next one, and this is the last one. The bigger the problem, the better the story. Think about it. It's like, if you're imagining a hero, like you're a hero of your story, and you at the end of your life, you're telling your life story to your grandkids, let's say, and you're telling them about like the challenges you had, how you became this guy. The bigger the problems that you faced, obviously, is the more epic the story that you are going to be able to tell one day, right? Because like, if you're just given $1 billion, like let's say you apply for a lottery or you buy a lottery ticket and you win $1 billion. Now what? Is there a story there? Oh yeah, I went and I risked some money to buy this lottery ticket. Is there a story there? Not really, right? But if the story is, I started cold calling, and then I made some money, and then I had $800 in my bank account, but then I took a loan for $10,000, for $15,000, for $20,000, whatever it is. I took a loan for $20,000 and put it all in black, put it all in my business, and then I suffered, and then I eventually figured out, and then I got this, did that. That's a story you can tell. That's a story you can look back at and you can be proud of. And that is essentially what I try to do every day, every month, and every year from now on. So yeah, these are the lessons that I've learned in 2026. If any of those lessons helped you in any way, just like this video, so that way you get more videos like this recommended to you, and subscribe so you get, when I release a video, you get a notification or something like that, okay? And also, if you want to know how to book appointments, this is a video where I show exactly how we book 120 appointments every single month. Don't worry, it's not a pitch, okay? Just go and watch this video. It's completely free. I show exactly what we do and how we run things to book appointments. And don't worry, I'm not going to pitch you at the end of that video too, all right? Bye.